Hey, let's talk about Uranus entering Aries. So the deal is Uranus goes into different signs once every 7 years. So when it shifts into a new sign, it is a big deal because it's forwarding into this new era of a completely different type of energy. Now, when you're Uranus goes through the signs, it shakes up the nature of that sign or what that sign rules. And so interesting that it's been going through Pisces, and Pisces is, among other things, is talks about anything that has to do with film, the huge advent of screens, HD TVs, while Uranus was going through Pisces. And Pisces is also about the ocean, right? Pisces, the fish. And Uranus has been at a particular point um, of Pisces, the last degree of Pisces, connected to a fixed star called Shiat, which is the star of sorrow and suffering. And interesting enough, that's when the oil spill, burst open here, and the ocean, at least in the Gulf, I would say, is suffering. So there's a connection there. So, but let's go into the chart when Uranus enters Aries. What I want you to start to think about, you're going to be able to read a lot about Uranus in Aries and how Aries is about being the courageous warrior, and yes, all of that is true, and it's going to dictate a tremendous amount of independence now because Aries wants to do their own thing, and so does Uranus. Uranus is about breaking away from tradition and breaking away from what everybody else says you're supposed to do and forging a new path as the inventor. So that's absolutely true. But if you do the chart for the moment that Uranus enters Aries, you will see why it's different this time around than it was 84 years ago. Because obviously, it's like in our own charts, we're not the same person we were 10 years ago. We shifted, we changed, and you can see that in our progress chart. So you can see that in the ingress chart when Uranus is going to enter into Aries. And it will happen twice, because the first time Uranus goes into Aries, it just stays there for a few months, and then it's going to regress back to a retrograde back into Pisces in August, and then it goes back into Aries basically, for the next 7 years in March of 2011. So what is this saying for the first part of Aries, the Aries introduction of Uranus? The first energy is about, if you look at this chart, I set it for Washington D.C., and sorry friends on other continents, but what I want you to do is to set it for where you live. And if you're an astrologer for other people, then set it for a location that's central for your country. So I set it for the capital of the United States. And so you will see that the sun is just set, right? Because this is the horizon. You want to remember that this, if you're looking outside, where's everything going to be? So if you step outside, this is the land that you're stepping on. So it'd be cute if I could have a little stick figure here. So just imagine yourself standing on the ground here. You're looking towards the east. That's where the sun rises, and the moon has just come up. This is a full moon energy. So the full moon had just occurred. It's only a degree apart, 7 degrees and 6 degrees, and the sun had just set. So this is the horizon. This is over in the west. The sun is below the horizon. What's on top is Saturn. Saturn, if you look straight above, you're seeing the Saturn up here, and what's straight below us, so this is what we can't see, is Jupiter, and here's Uranus, 0 degrees of Aries. So it's made its entrance on stage in Aries with the sun in Gemini, the moon in Sagittarius ruler, next to Jupiter. Jupiter is over here at 28 degrees, and Saturn's opposite at 27 degrees. So what's going on here? What does all this mean? One of the interesting things to note is Jupiter is the strongest planet in the chart by virtue of Jupiter's in its rulership. So Jupiter's in its rulership in Pisces. So no other planet has this distinction. Saturn is not in its rulership. Mars is not in its rulership. Jupiter's in its rulership. So Jupiter's strong, but it's strong conjunct the planet or the fixed star. So Jupiter is conjunct the fixed star Shiat, which symbolizes sorrow and suffering. And that's what we just said when Uranus was at that point. The BP oil spill happened in the Gulf. And so there is this, because Jupiter does have rulership, there's a strong energy that everything's going to Jupiter. Why is everything going to Jupiter? Okay, so we want to talk about Uranus and Aries. Okay, we're going to be independent. Everybody's going to want their own way. There's going to be a shift from, it's fine if you don't want to go with me. I want to go by myself. Don't try to manipulate me. I need to do this for me. Give your friends a lot of space now. They're going to need space. And if they don't want to do what you want to do, fine. And if you don't want to do what they don't want to do, that's fine too, because this is really about adventure and independence here. Now, so what rules Aries? Mars rules Aries, right? The ruler of Aries is Mars. Where's Mars? Well, Mars is over here in Leo. So what's going on with Mars? Well, how's Mars in Leo? It's proud, right? Leo is proud. Mars in Leo, though, is also a little bit obstinate. It's like, I want to have my way, and if I don't get my way, I'm going to pout. You might not know why I'm mad, but you'll know I'm mad, but I'm not going to tell you unless I want to. So you can find yourself reverting if someone isn't agreeing with your newfound need of adventure and independence. There can be this not so subtle vibration of, I'm mad about it, and but I'm not exactly gonna. I'll only let you know what I'm really thinking if I feel like it. And now it doesn't have to be that way, because Mars and Leo can be the champion. There can be a championship of, come on, I know you can do it. So let's say, for an example, the Uranus and Aries is inspiring you to jump out of an airplane. Right? It's something different. It's adventurous. It takes a lot of courage. If you have a Mars and Leo pal, say, I know you're afraid, but you can do it. I'm here for you. I've done it. I'll go with you. So that's the positive side of the energy. So, but Mars is not in its rulership in Leo, right? The ruler of Leo is the Sun. So over here's the Sun in Gemini. So what does Gemini's Sun have to say? It's like, well, I don't know if I really want to jump out of the airplane. Maybe we should try something else. Why don't we do some hiking? So, of two minds. So the Uranian in Aries energy say, I just know I need a new adventure. I know I need to be doing something different. It goes to Mars. It says, well, if you don't, it can go either two ways. Yes, I agree with you. I'll support you. Or it can be like, well, you can't make me do that. As you want to do that, fine. Go, I don't want you to do that. Or it will go either way. But then it's talking to the Sun in Gemini, and the Sun in Gemini, the character of the Sun in Gemini is like, do you really want to jump out of the airplane? Wouldn't it be a lot more fun if we just, I know I want to do something different too. Why don't we go on this, I heard about this really cool cruise my girlfriends went on, and they had a blast, and we've never done that. That'd be adventurous. We could go down to Cozumel, they're kind of adventurous down there. So the Gemini energy is pale is going to give you another option here. Well, maybe I could do this, or maybe